Have you ever gotten that weird feeling, like a sense of longing for a time you never even lived through? Well, today we're going to dig into a really fascinating cultural puzzle, Gen Z's deep, deep connection to the past, and why it actually matters a whole lot. I mean, really think about it for a second. How can you feel nostalgic for the 90s if you were born in, say, 2002? It doesn't quite add up, right? But this paradox, this strange feeling, seems to define a generation, and it's exactly what we're going to unpack. And you know what? This is not some niche thing. This exact question is being asked all over the internet, on forums, on social media, everywhere. It's a huge, widespread phenomenon. It's like a shared phantom nostalgia that people are all trying to make sense of together. And it turns out there's actually a word for it, anemoia. Yeah, anemoia. It comes from the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, and it literally means nostalgia for a time you've never known. And somehow giving it a name makes it feel so much more real, doesn't it? Honestly, a lot of experts think we're all feeling this on some level right now. Okay, so now that we have a name for this feeling, let's get into the why. What's the psychology behind it? What is it that makes anemoia so incredibly common with Gen Z? And here is the absolute crucial point. This is so much more than just a retro fashion trend. For Gen Z, this kind of historical nostalgia is a powerful psychological toolkit. It's something they're actively using to build their identity, to find connection, and to just navigate all the complexities of the modern world. So let's break that down into a few big ideas. First up is identity. It's all about crafting the self, by kind of looking into the rearview mirror to help define who you are today. The most obvious way we see this happening is through what you could call aesthetic exploration. It's this idea of finding creative inspiration not by looking forward into some unknown future, but by looking back at what's already been done. Just think about the massive comeback of fashion from the 90s and Y2K. It's everywhere. But these old looks are being remixed and given a totally new life, creating this unique style that feels both familiar and brand new at the same time. It's a way to connect with an idealized past while staying totally in the present. But it goes way beyond just clothes. It's also about a kind of cultural time travel. That pure joy of revisiting the iconic movies, music, and just the whole vibe of past eras. This is all about experiencing the best bits, right? The highlight reel of these amazing eras. It's exactly why a show like Stranger Things, which is just dripping with 80s culture, becomes a massive global hit. It offers this incredible shared experience that connects everybody, whether they actually lived through the 80s or not. And this feeling was captured perfectly by someone online who said, "You're not actually trying to recreate your own childhood. You're drawn to the culture that existed just before your own memory really kicks in. It's like you're exploring the world that was waiting for you to understand your own starting point." This whole search for identity also plays out with physical objects. I mean, we live in a world of endless digital streaming and mass production. So there's a special kind of pleasure in owning something you can actually hold, something tactile, something with a story. A vinyl record, a vintage t-shirt. These aren't just objects. They feel like these rare little treasures because they're uniquely yours. And that brings us to our second major theme here, finding roots and wings. This is all about how nostalgia helps Gen Z feel grounded and connected in our super digital age. So, moving beyond just personal identity, nostalgia is an incredible tool for connection. It actually builds bridges between generations. Just imagine sharing music or hearing stories from your parents' youth. It creates this shared identity and makes those family bonds so much stronger. Now, to really understand why this is so important, you have to look at the world Gen Z grew up in. There's this constant tension, right? On one side, you've got digital overwhelm. You're always connected, always on, and it leads to serious burnout. On the other side, you've got the appeal of analog living, slower, tangible, more mindful experiences. And this is exactly where things like cassette tapes and vinyl come back into the picture. Engaging with this old school tech isn't about rejecting the present, no way. It's a conscious choice to disconnect for your own mental well-being, to just dial down all that digital noise and connect with something real. So let's be super clear on this. This whole phenomenon is not about escapism. It's not about running away from the present to some imagined perfect past. It's about drawing strength, inspiration, and a sense of grounding from the past to better navigate the complexities of right now. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. What's the big takeaway here? Why does this historical nostalgia actually matter so much? It all really boils down to four key psychological benefits. Nostalgia provides a toolkit for identity, a way to express yourself and form who you are. It's a way to build deep connection with family and community. It's a path to wellness in a world that feels totally burnt out. And finally, it's a huge source of inspiration, using the past to create and shape the future. Ultimately, this isn't just about one generation. We all look to the past for ideas, for comfort, for inspiration. So the real question is for every single one of us, what parts of the past are you using to build your future?